Hello, lovely listeners. Good to connect with you all today. I was thinking about you guys, actually, something to do with parenting. And I was just noticing that if I mess up as a parent, which happens to all of us, I'm sure, not just me. Um, if I mess up as a parent, what I never do is I never say or think, I'll start again Monday, right? I can make a mistake, a parenting mistake on a Wednesday, and there's no part of me that is like, oh, this week is ruined as a parent. I'm just going to start again next week and continue to be a bad parent this week. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is such a common attitude that I see and have lived through and experienced myself when it comes to getting organized, completing the to-do list. Like, how often have you ever said, oh, I'm already so behind, or I've already messed up this week, I'll just get organized for Monday, or I'll start again next week, or I'll wake up early next week, or I'll catch up next week. Like, where is it that we are using this idea that we can just start fresh next week to A, not solve something now, and B, to stay in creating the problem and maybe even deepening it now? And I just invite you to consider, if you are someone who, like me, use that kind of phrase as it pertains to like work or things that you want to get done or personal goals or whatever it might be, like, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? And if you're not a parent, then apply it to being an auntie or uncle or a friend or a partner, like a relationship that you care about. If you mess up in that relationship, right, with your pet, are you like, oh, well, I'm going to continue to suck this week and we'll sort it out next week? Of course not, right? Because here's why I think it is, right? I would love you to pause and really think about why you think it is. But here's why I think it is. Our brain loves these extremes. It's like, I'm either perfect or I'm terrible. And it loves these extremes for a very clever reason. Your brain is very, very clever. And the reason your brain loves this extreme is because perfect doesn't exist. So if we're telling ourselves we have to be a perfect parent or we shouldn't parent at all, or we have to be perfect in how we, approach our to-do list or get things done, or we shouldn't do anything at all, or even I see this, if we have to be perfect in what we eat and don't eat, or we should, binge eat everything that makes us feel terrible afterwards, however it shows up, then guess what we're doing? We're giving ourselves permission. Our brain is giving us permission to be terrible. And there are certain things where we are not willing to be terrible, right? I'm not willing to be a terrible mom for a few days. I am potentially willing to be terrible and procrastinate on all the things that I've been meaning to do, right? That I don't actually really want to do, or the part of my subconscious brain doesn't want me to do because it's afraid of exposure and other people's opinions and fear and failure and all of those survival mechanisms that we've spoken about on this podcast before. Right? So it's a very clever strategy from our brain to say, we either need to be perfect or there's no point trying this week and we can start again next week. That's how we stay safe. But when we apply that to other areas of our lives, we would never say that. We would never say, I'm just going to be a shit parent this week and I'll start again fresh on Monday. I'm just going to let things go this week and I'll start again next Monday. So the problem that we might think is, well, like, oh, I don't care enough. And I think that you do care. I know that I cared when I was doing this. I did care. I think I just believed my brain a bit too much. And I think I cared. I didn't really do the work to like really connect with my care. There's something we do inside Time Hackers where we continue to ask the why. Why is this important? Why is that important? Why is that important? So for example, why is it important that I, prepare this podcast for you all? Because I want to give value and I want to help people's lives. Okay, well, why is that important? Because I imagine the person listening to this who then gets to, be more present with their kid and not have their kid get upset and throw a tantrum because they're on their phone instead of being present with them. Okay, well, why is that important? Because I think the next generation and how they're raised is going to matter in terms of the world that we leave behind. And I want to leave behind a world better than I found. Why is that important? Can you see how suddenly my whys are super deep? The why is that strong enough to get me to record this podcast? over waiting next week for perfect conditions, for example. So you could do that with yourself. Think about something that you're putting off and build that muscle of that deep why. Build it, do the work, ask the question, or join Time Hackers and we'll ask the question for you, and you'll get loads of tools and resources to help you get the thing done. That's what we're experts in, right? Even if there's one thing that you take away from this, I just want you to notice the next time your brain offers this strategy, which it will. Your brain's very clever, and part of it is highly motivated to have you delay things. And part of what it does then is create this like perfect imaginary next week that never happens. Because if you're anything like me, there's probably thousands of I'll start again on Mondays that I experienced in my life. Thousands. So you are someone that experiences it, the next time you do, I want you to say, okay, I'm just going to drop into the why. Why does this matter to me? Why is this important to me? Why do I want to do this today? Why? Build that muscle of commitment that you would have for a loved one. And then it doesn't matter about this perfectionism. You are willing to do it messy because you care more. You've directed your brain, you've exposed the true care that is more powerful than this perfection. Deep care, authentic care, connected care is more powerful than this idealized perfection narrative that your brain is offering up only to keep you stuck, only to keep you delayed, only to keep you distracted. It is not a strategy that works. I promise you, if I knew that we could say, okay, we'll start again next Monday and everything would be perfect, maybe sometimes it would be worth it. But I already know that you're human. I know that I'm human. And I know that we're not built to be perfect, whatever perfect is, because by the way, perfect to you this week might be different to what perfect to you next week is. And perfect to you is certainly different to perfect to me and perfect to those others around us, right? Perfect is made up. It's a very clever brain strategy. So even if you could be perfect on Monday, would it still really be worth it? But we know you cannot be perfect on Monday because you are human and we don't require perfection, right? Progress doesn't require perfection. We are willing to be in the messy middle. So we have to find that motivation and that reminder and direct our brain on purpose to allow us to be in the messy middle so that we are making progress, so that we are learning, so that we are committed to making this moment count instead of delaying the moments that count. So that's it from me today, just sharing some lessons from parenting or some learning from parenting. And also the idea that I think so often we're told that these areas of our lives compete, right? Being a parent competes with my business goals, my business goals compete with my health goals compete with my relationship goals, whatever it might be. And one of the things that we definitely talk about a lot in Time Hackers is how these seemingly competitive areas of our lives are actually complements. And so today is a little nugget as well into the complementary areas of these lives. So that's it from me. If you haven't already, I highly recommend getting the Stop Wasting Time guide. You just go to timehackers.xyz/guide. It's free. It's the 4 biggest time wasters that account for 80% of why you are wasting time. And it's not your typical like, delete apps off your phone and stop watching Netflix and don't scroll. Like, it's nothing that you've heard before. So if you have never downloaded that free guide, do it now. And that's it from me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.